Dad bite.
Yo, what is up guys, Deadby here with another video. I wanted to take the time to make this video to kind of discuss about my experience with the Division 2 private beta. If you don't know, I had the opportunity to get a look at the gameplay aspects and mechanics of this game. This is also the first time I'm kind of doing one of these videos, so please bear with me. I'm just barely getting adjusted to doing voiceovers on videos like this. So what I want to talk about in this video is mainly kind of my first impression of the private beta and my experience with everything. As you know, the Division 2 has had a private beta running for the past 3 days now, only for people that pre-ordered the game and people that were fortunate enough to get a code. I personally pre-ordered the game. I pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition, but then after playing the beta, I ultimately decided to kind of refund my pre-order for the game, and I will tell you why. This is not me just bashing the game, it's me just taking a critical eye, a critical view right now, the state of the game in the beta, and what I think that are some things that probably will get changed after the beta, but there's also some things that won't get changed when the game will launch. I think I put a decent amount of time into the first game. I have about 500 hours of the Division 1, and I played it for the first year that it launched, since the beta, since the first day it launched. Even though it went through many iterations and patches because they had a lot of issues with balancing the enemies and the strength of the enemies. Also a lot of balance issues when it came to PvP and everything that's related to PvP as far as stats go, how PvP is balanced and how PvP works out, which is a main aspect for me for this game, because PvP is kind of what was the selling point, the Dark Zone and everything that was related to being able to go into the Dark Zone and go up against other people and steal their loot. Just overall, just the whole PvP experience of the game. Most of the time that I spent with the game was just going inside a Dark Zone and just looting or fighting against other players, going rogue or going into different landmarks with friends or doing it solo. It was all in all just an experience that I enjoyed, and the Dark Zone was something unique that I've never experienced before with any other game, given that this is a RPG type shooter and that combines PvE and PvP at the same time. I was inspired to make this video from watching Marco Styles' video where he expresses kind of his opinion on the Division 2 private beta and how he feels about the game as well. I'll be linking his video down in the description box. Nonetheless, here are some main points that I kind of want to underline in this video and get in depth and discuss about them. First of all, I want to talk a little bit about the normalized Dark Zone, or actually Dark Zones, because there's going to be multiple Dark Zones. From what I know, at launch there's going to be 3 Dark Zones. 2 of them are going to be normalized Dark Zones and 1 of them is going to be occupied. Basically what normalized Dark Zone means, all of your gear stats are going to be normalized. Basically everybody's going to have a kind of the same chance at taking the shot at each other, or you know, you're not gonna get the extra bonuses that you have on your gears. Everyone is gonna have kind of the same health pool, and it's the Dark Zone, the normal Dark Zones are generally gonna behave like a skirmish or like a last stand arena where nobody has extra stats. Having this said, the only Dark Zone that you're gonna be able to take full advantage of your gear is gonna be the occupied Dark Zone, where all the stats are taken into account. There's no rules. It's gonna be like the classic Dark Zone in the Division 1. Yes, I know what you guys are gonna say. If you don't enjoy the normalized Dark Zone, just go to the occupied Dark Zone. Yes, I understand that, but the main thing that I enjoyed about the Division 1 was having the immensity of the Dark Zone, just being one big Dark Zone to have to explore, whilst having that kind of sense of being a little bit paranoid. If if somebody's gonna hop out of somewhere and try to steal your loot or attack your teammates. So having the dark zone split into like different places where people go and they get separated, and it's only like, I think they said the cap for each dark zone is gonna be 12 players per dark zone. It's not the same as having a big dark zone where whenever you would go manhunt, you would see like 20 people show up or 30 people show up in the same place. It made the dark zone in the original division more interesting because you knew the risks you were taking. There's more people in the same place as you are, you know. It's not separated like they're treating it like now with the second game, where you have different play pens where, oh, okay, whoever wants no rules can go there, and whoever wants normalized stats and no bonuses can go here. That's kind of my main issue with how they're treating this. Having no skill gap when going to most of the dark zones, which are gonna be normalized, which is 2 out of 3 dark zones. I feel like the developers are not, there's no more like skill gap between PvP players when it comes to normalization. So what the developers are kind of doing is not really encouraging people to get good at the game, to become competitive. That's kind of what I liked about the original game, is PvE or going to the dark zone to get better gear, to better your stats, to become better at killing other players or doing PvP in general. So now with the normalized stats, it's like who has a little bit better aim or just gets the first shot on the enemy wins, or can have a chance at winning, you know. And it doesn't make the PvP seem dynamic to me. They're basically kind of trying to make the game appeal to a casual audience instead of them making the game competitive, you know, when it comes to PvP. You know, some people just want to enjoy the PvE, and that's alright. I understand that. You have an open world, you have the runs you can do on legendary, you have raids, you have maybe incursions, maybe all that stuff that you can do outside of the dark zone. But I feel like what made the dark zone great was this feel of being competitive. Having that taken away from like most of the dark zones, and having the dark zones be split up into different places and having them be either occupied or normalized, it doesn't really like put us all together in one place having to compete with one another. It doesn't give you that sense of risk and that sense of like being able to lose some of your progress or some of the loot that you fought in the dark zone to get so hard and you're trying to extract it. They also have increased the punishments on going rogue, because now you can be either gray rogue or white, I'm not sure what they're calling it, which you can get by picklocking different chests in the dark zone or by accessing the terminals for going into the thieves den, which is kind of a safe house for the rogues. I've seen cooldowns on that of being like 500 seconds. Engaging in fights with other players is gonna be punished more this time around, since the timers are a little bit bigger. But now having that all normalized and only having like these separated dark zones and not having a competitive side to it anymore, I personally kind of lose interest in doing PvE, because what is the point of getting better gear? All of my gear is not gonna mean anything when I go into the dark zone, because when it's gonna come to a PvP fight in a normalized zone, all you're gonna be able to do is just sit in cover and try to shoot and maybe try to get a hit on your enemy if you're lucky enough. But that's about it. Like, your skills are not gonna be more powerful, your damage is not gonna be greater, there's not gonna be any skill gap between you and your enemy in the dark zone. Also in the private beta, if you die as a rogue in the dark zone and you respawn, you will have a cooldown before you can go rogue again. I have no idea why the developers thought this would be a good idea to implement, but nonetheless, let's move on to the next point, which is micromanagement. So this time around, they made that most of your skills are able to be micromanaged manually, so you can control your drones manually, you can control your seeker mine, your flyer drones, everything can be manually moved around by pressing a button to send them over to the enemy side or make them target a certain enemy. They tried making combat more dynamic with the being able to micromanage your gadgets and control them with PvE in mind, but not with PvP in mind, since nobody will stop to control their drone or sentry in a PvP scenario. Everybody will just shoot their gun. There's no point in losing time with using your gadget, only the healing ones, I guess, because those ones will provide some self-sustain. I personally find it very annoying in the middle of combat to have to micromanage my turret to tell it who to shoot at. I just wanted to like shoot automatically when I deploy it, or have to micromanage my seeker mine to tell it where to go and explode. I understand the fact that they try to kind of like make skills not more or just deploy and forget about, but it's something that I don't really find fun in doing while I'm being shot at. Like by the time I'm gonna deploy and send my seeker mine at the enemy, some other guy in my party, or even me myself included, would be able to shoot that enemy faster with my gun than using my gadget. So me personally, I don't find the purpose of having to micromanage each individual skill. Also, another thing I want to touch upon is armor being very important this time around. For some reason, whenever your armor bar gets depleted, your health just goes down instantly, like you can get two-shotted. Armor is a good indicator this time around for how buff a player is, so you can see by the number of bars he has next to his health pool how buff a player can be. But after that armor bar is depleted, the enemy can go down like in 2 shots. So as opposed to Division 1, I feel like that's an upgrade, where in the Division 1 you would shoot at a player and not have any sort of indication how many shots it will take or how weak the player is gonna be after he took damage. Speaking about skills, the skills that I tried out in the beta were kind of janky and buggy, and sometimes didn't function at all when I pressed them or activated them. They either got cancelled, sometimes because that's just how the game works, not because it's a beta. There's core aspects of this game that we'll see in the beta that are not gonna change even at launch, like the skills and how they deploy, which feels janky and unresponsive, like PUBG with opening doors. When I press a button, I expect that skill to be deployed instantly, but when it comes to Division 2 or even Division 1, sometimes you press the skill and it doesn't deploy, or my character, I could have seen my character almost deploy and then put my skill back into not being deployed. So it's something that I feel like it's not going to be addressed for a long time, even after launch. Also, now I want to kind of take a little time to talk about the open world and PvE aspects of the game a bit, and what I kind of feel like it's gonna be only in the beta and what's gonna be after launch. They said raids are gonna be only for the hardcore players. As you know, raids are gonna be a thing in the Division 2, a new thing implemented in the open world, which will be 8-man raids where people can group up and take on the most difficult enemies in the game. And I feel like they're not really gonna be for the most hardcore players. Even for somebody who can just matchmake with the random players can take a raid and finish it without even like communicating or anything. The reason why I'm saying that is because I can see how much they're trying to casualize this game and make this game appeal to a casual audience. So having the raids be too difficult for people and having only well-coordinated groups being able to finish raids is not gonna make raids accessible for everyone, and I feel like that's gonna deter people from trying to go into raids. Also, when it comes to instances and missions, when I did the missions on 1-man, it was okay. The time to kill felt okay. The enemies went down pretty quickly. It felt natural, same as with duos. But when you add 2 or 3 other players, the enemies get so bullet spongy and it becomes the same problem that we had in the Division 1 with really tanky enemies that take a lot of shots before they go down, even in the invaded missions that I got to try out for the end game in the beta. All in all, if you feel like this is the Division for you and you feel like all these changes and this game kind of feeling more of a Division 1.5 and what the developers are doing with the game at the current state, you feel like the Dark Zone is going to be more enjoyable, the PvP is going to be more enjoyable if it's normalized. Everything that has been so far with the beta, and you played the beta and you had fun playing the beta, good for you. I encourage you, you can buy this game. This is by far not a terrible game, but it's not the game that I fell in love when I first played the first Division. It's all these changes to the PvP and how they handle everything. I feel like they're not gonna change much about it in the future. It kind of took away what was fun about this game to me. So me personally, I'm probably gonna go play something else when it comes to PvE. I kind of feel Anthem or other games handle it a little bit better than the Division 2. All in all, if you feel like this is the game for you, if you feel like you're having fun with it, despite all the things that I kind of listed in this video that I didn't enjoy with the beta and I feel like I won't enjoy with the future game, it's fine. You can go, you can buy the game, have fun with it. You don't have to take my word for it. But if you are a hardcore player, if you are a hardcore PvPer, I don't think that what I've seen in the beta will be enjoyable or will be changed that much in the final game. I don't feel like the PvP is gonna be returned to its hardcore roots where only the best of the best survive in the Dark Zone and the other people, like the casual players that have maybe 2 jobs, a family, a wife or kids, and don't have that much time to grind the game, will get shut down. We'll have that good of a time, because it's not gonna be like that anymore. It's gonna appeal to a larger audience. Ubisoft knows from what it's seen that it has to casualize the game to kind of appeal to a larger audience, and from what people have posted on Reddit and what the majority of the audience is going to be casual, this is what they want from the game. So they had to make those changes to appeal to a larger audience to sell more copies, because all in all, at the end of the day, that's kind of their main goal with this game. So personally, I kind of feel like I'm not gonna be enjoying the Division 2 as much as I did with the Division 1. So I'm probably gonna stay away from it, see how it evolves. If at any point I feel like they make some changes and they make the game play the way that I liked it in the Division 1, or feel like it's gonna be fun to play again, I might pick it up again, maybe on a sale. But as for pre-ordering it or being there from the get-go, like I promised, I said it multiple times on my stream that I'm gonna be buying this game. And when I got to play the beta, I was kind of sorely disappointed with the game, to be honest. I just feel a bit confused and kind of disappointed that the game turned out to be this way, at least for the beta and for what looks the future. I guess I'll have to wait and see. And I even canceled my pre-order on the game. This is just a personal opinion. If you're watching this video to take a decision on either getting the game or not, it's up to you. You can try out the beta. Everything, it all comes down to if you are having fun with the game, then you're good. In my case, I didn't feel fun. I didn't feel fun while playing it when I played the beta, so I'm gonna stay skeptical for now. I'm gonna wait and see what happens. Pre-ordering a game is not a must, to be honest, so maybe I'll even get a good deal in the future on a sale if I decide that the game is at another state where I'd enjoy myself playing this game. So if you enjoyed this video, please drop a subscribe and click the like button if you want to see more videos like this made in the future. I'll be sure to link my Twitch and my Discord down in the panel section. Come check us out on streams. I stream from Thursday to Monday, 7 p.m. EET, Eastern European Time, on twitch.tv/deadbite. Until next time, catch you guys on the flip-flop. See ya. Peace.